Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. And I always say, check out all three because they could, they'll tell you whether you are, oh my God, Raph. Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs, so check out all three so that you can find out how they speak to you. With that said, I will bless my deck of cards as always with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week this week is the Hanged Man. Take your time. Do not push ahead. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, wait, what? The reason I say this is the Hanged Man can be a card of delays, but what is the way that we get active about the Hanged Man? Take time to do nothing. This is sometimes where you have to let the current of life take you to where you're going to be. You know, if you listen to accounts of people that fall into rivers and they say, you know what, I was struggling, I was fighting against the current and then I just let it take me and I ended up sort of finding the shore or, you know, coming up against a tree and, you know, it took all of the hard effort out of it. The other message behind this is sometimes you have to tap into your spiritual gifts or your intuition or your creative faculty in order to get you to where you need to be. There's something about the Hanged Man that has always said to me, this is about enlightenment and it isn't about striving for it or trying to make it happen or wresting it out of the universe. It's about taking a moment to acknowledge and accept exactly where you are, letting the life current take you to where you're going and then arriving at that place. This is sometimes the best way to get to where you want to be is to do nothing. All right, so with that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you've got the Three of Wands. So here's where this gets interesting, all right? The Hanged Man is the number 12. 1 and 2 obviously gives you 3, so you've got 2 threes technically. 2 threes represents a calming influence. Right, so this isn't about thrashing, it's not about pushing, it's not about being hard or anything. It's about taking some time out to take stock. That's what the figure on the Three of Wands is doing, is looking out over their investments, their speculations, like what is the next step from here? This is about letting your mind tap into the fantasy and the reverie. Geminis do this so well because your mind, you're already a mutable sign, which means that your energy is movable and changeable and dynamic. So when you can drop into that imagination faculty, and you know, what did Einstein say? Your intuition and your imagination are exactly the same thing, right? And I really believe that. If you ever saw my intuition activation webinar, still out there on my website, you can go to my courses page, courses and shop page, and you can still purchase it and watch it back. There's a lot of really good information in there, even if I do say so myself. But that was one of the points that I talked about in there. The Three of Wands as your actions and options. This is you surveilling the land. This week you're taking stock of what the next phase or stage of your life actually looks like when it comes to your investments, when it comes to your time, your effort, your business, even your resources for your communications and conversations. You've got the Six of Wands. I love this, right? This is one of those moments where your chickens come home to roost, but in the best way, right? So this is where the chickens would deliver the eggs to you rather than you having to go and, you know, fight with them in the cage to take them away. What I will say is when it comes to communications this week, communication is something that you can definitely be open to. Communication is definitely something that is assisting you. Get creative about it, all right? Like start talking to people that you trust. Open up dialogues with people that you think, you know what, yeah, this person can help me further this idea or this end. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, I kind of want to say to you, you've done enough. Like, don't push anymore. Even if you're at the moment writing your dissertation, this would be a moment to kind of take a week, Take a couple of days, take a minute, talk about what you're doing and your idea. Whatever comes to you in that reverie space may be the next step. For those of you that are business owners employed by somebody else, I actually think that this week, when you decide to stop striving for a recognition or acknowledgement, that will be the moment at which it comes. I kind of feel like a lot of you are sitting there like, any minute now they're going to notice me, any minute now I'm going to get the promotion, any minute now. Stop looking for it. All right, just get back to doing what it is that you do best and wait for them to come to you, because they will. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this is a moment of pure triumph, something that you have put your heart and soul and spirit-led power, let's say, into. This week comes good. It's almost like you've been working towards something for a while, and like where maybe you thought, okay, well, I've done all of the work and the foundational stuff and nothing's happening. This could be the week where you start to see the sparks just before the flames start to ignite, right? For those of you that are retired and no longer working, I would give yourself... I would give yourself props and praise this week for minding your business, all right? Whatever it is, because the reason I say this, I kind of feel like a lot of you have taken a step back or out of something, and it's kind of like you're just stood there like, you know what? Usually I'd want to be all in the fray of this, but I don't want that right now. So I'm stepping back, I'm staying out of it, it's nothing to do with me. And by doing so, you're going to have a moment where it's like, yeah, that was the best thing to do. For your love and relations, you've got the Page of Pentacles. For those of you that are single, this could definitely be new budding romance of some kind. Oddly enough, potentially with an earth sign. Somebody who has that grounded, practical energy, or somebody who is potentially a business owner, or somebody that has a very sort of earthy disposition. I'm intrigued by this, especially because you've got the Hanged Man. It's like whatever is there, you kind of know it's there, it's developing, but you don't really put too much into it. So if you're single, be open to that. There's potentially an earth sign in it for you, which is, you know, I mean, maybe they're a Virgo. It's very possible because you guys are both ruled by Mercury. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments already, this could be a moment at which, like this week, you and a partner could bond over something that has a spiritual element to it, or potentially maybe something really good happens and you realize that it's not by accident. So you and your partner could be talking about synchronicities. You could be talking about something that shapes up where you're like, there's no way this was just a coincidence. There's no way it even just came from hard work. There's something else, potentially almost divinely inspired, that's happening here. For your money and materials, you've got the Six of Cups. So what do we see here? We've got two sixes. Two sixes represents balance or irritability, and with this mix of cards, I'm going to say it's balance. The Six of Cups suggests that money this week, this is either getting money from efforts that you've already sown, or potentially from things that you have wanted to do for a very long time. Because you've got the element of the Hanged Man here as well, this could be some artistic and or creative endeavor that brings money into you, right? And I kind of feel like for a lot of you, you're not worried about money this week. You're so focused on what the next steps might be, opening up things to, it's like, yeah, great, money is pouring in, but I have no reason or desire at the moment to spend that money. It's like you're so busy just enjoying the moment, being present and opening up that intuition that you're not worried about the resources. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this, because you've got the Hanged Man here as well, and the Six of Cups rules the reproductive system, I would say to you, this is a week where that whole general area you really want to look out for. That's not to say that you've got any problems, but if potentially, you know, that's where they could show up. And it's not always like, when I say that to people, they're like, oh my God, it's like, it's not always what you think. Sometimes it could be, oh gosh, I can't even come up with another example at this moment, off the top of my head. But it doesn't always have to be the obvious that you would think about, right? For those of you that are, and then for when it comes to your physical health, your home and environment, For a lot of you, this could be time spent with children. With the Hanged Man, this could also be time spent in the creative space or sphere. It's like your home is a hub for creativity, for lots of mental sort of stimulation. There could be sort of more space for projects, ideas, concepts, and, you know, creative endeavors than there is for you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, that sort of person that's got like a million cats and then their space in their bed is like this small. Or, you know, like with some artists that I know, like their whole house is taken up with art materials, canvases, things they've drawn, things that are half drawn, and then they've got like this tiny space to enjoy the rest of their lives. This could be like that this week, but you're loving it either which way. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.